I'm here in Scottsdale, Arizona, headed to the Fashion Square Mall where they have several watch shops, hoping to try on a few watches I've only seen on the internet to get a real on-the-wrist evaluation. Stay tuned. Okay, I'm here at the Fashion Square Mall in Scottsdale, Arizona. Whenever I visit a new city, I like to see what watch shopping is available. Scottsdale, being a more wealthy community, was bound to have some of the brands I wanted to see. Now, if I can only figure out where they are. If you stay to the end of this video, you'll see me visit a shop in another part of Scottsdale where I found a couple of Rolex watches. Wait until you see their asking price. But first, let's visit the Fashion Square Mall. We have Hyde Park Jewelers, which has a bunch of watches. Breitling, Hublot, IWC, and Omega. Recently, I posted a video discussing 3 popular watches that I don't like, which include the Breitling Navitimer and the Hublot Big Bang. So I wanted to visit these 2 shops. I'll leave a link to that episode at the end of this video. I was able to try on a Navitimer. The one I picked was the B01 chronograph 43mm in stainless steel with a red gold bezel and anthracite dial. Now I will say I love the color of that anthracite dial. Whether in shade or full light, it has a sharp and elegant look to it. I also like the applied hour markers. They have a nice clean bevel on them. It's all the other stuff on the dial that turns me off. I know it all has purpose, being a watch for aviator. It's just too busy for me, and I don't like date windows at the 4:30 position, especially if they're at an angle. So I've confirmed for myself with this try on the wrist that I'm not a fan of the Navitimer. But hold on, since I'm here, let me try on another Breitling watch to see if I can find something I like. I selected the Super Ocean Heritage B20 automatic 42mm with stainless steel case and red gold bezel. I tried one with a black dial, first on a rubber strap and then on a bracelet. It has a nice plain style that is appealing. However, to me it looks more like a dress watch than a dive watch. That feeling is amplified by the lack of numerals on the bezel. Time to move on to Hublot next door. I picked the Big Bang original steel ceramic 41mm watch. Again, this is one I did not like solely based on the internet images. Where do I start with this one? I don't like the dial pattern. It makes the dial hard to read, and I'm not a fan of that heavy angular industrial look. Again, I've confirmed my initial opinion through this on-the-wrist try-on. Now it's over to Omega. I have been very interested in the Seamaster Aqua Terra for some time. I believe that the larger 41mm model would be right for me, and I like the movement better in the larger model than in the smaller one. But until now, I've yet to be able to try on either size. Now's my chance. First up is the Aqua Terra 41mm with a green dial. I think this is a model that would make a great everyday watch. Rather than the usual black dial, I was thinking the green would be a nice change. Maybe it was the shop lights or my slight color blindness or the actual green dial, but I found it to be a pleasing shade that sometimes looks gray.
Yeah, it's a really dark green.
I tried this model on with a black dial and determined that I prefer the green dial. A gray dial would be perfect for me, but they don't make that yet. Then I tried on the 38mm model and confirmed that it's just too small for my 7 7/8 inch wrist. And I'm glad. As I said, I prefer the movement in the larger model. I couldn't leave without trying on the 41mm with a white dial. Not bad, but I greatly prefer the green dial over the white. So this is the only white dial version in this size. Although the main Hyde Park Jewelers shop carried several brands, I was focused on Grand Seiko. I was hoping they had the new white birch. I've been dying to see it in person ever since it was announced earlier this year. Unfortunately, they are still in short supply, and this shop didn't have one available. Let's go down now to Hyde Park and see what they have. And then attached to Hyde Park is the Rolex. I took this opportunity to try on a Snowflake, another Grand Seiko favorite. The dial texture, although hard to see in this video, is really nice. I expect the white birch will be even more impressive. I can't wait. As expected, the Rolex shop didn't have any steel sports watches on display. On my way back to the hotel, I decided to stop in another shop in the North Scottsdale area. I looked at and was able to try on a couple of Rolex watches, which I've been trying to get on my wrist for over a year. The Submariner Date 41 in oyster steel. This is a 2020 model. And the Explorer 2 42mm oyster steel. Again, a 2020 model. Did you catch the price tag on these watches? Well above normal retail. Nope, not for me. Turns out most of those shops were owned by the Hyde Park Jewelers. They are, I guess, a nationwide chain. I don't know how many there are of them, maybe only a few, but they own the IWC, the Breitling, the Hublot, and that Rolex store. The Omega was completely independent. I was able to confirm, trying on my wrist, that I don't like the Breitling Navitimer or the Hublot Big Bang. I was a bit disappointed that I couldn't try on the new Grand Seiko White Birch, but I was able to try on the Snowflake, and it's really a nice watch. Very nice. I'd consider it, except I don't like the power indicator on the spring drive that's on the dial. So I'll pass on that one. I'm still hoping to be able to try on and evaluate the White Birch, see if that's something I'd consider from Grand Seiko. I'll leave here links to my other video where I didn't really try on the Hublot or the Breitling, but formed an opinion of them and got some flack for criticizing the watches or evaluating the watches without having them tried on my wrist. So now I can say I've tried them on my wrist and I really don't like them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next episode.